The Diamond Ballroom was started by Ralph Russell, who was an attorney and a businessman. And he really was a lover of music, and so he started the ballroom and he opened this up on November 21st, 1964. And if you look at all these photographs on the wall here, the first big artist he had was Fats Domino. And Fats Domino played in 1965. And the Diamond Ballroom was a country swing place, and they would play from 9:30 to 1:30 every Friday and Saturday night. And so they had a band called Perry Jones and Diamondaires. They were the house band. They were like an 8-piece country swing band. And so people would come here and pay like $1.50 to get in. And they had to bring their own liquor because they could drink back then. So they had to pay 25 cents for their setup fee. And so the first year, you know, the house band was playing on a regular basis. But then Ralph decided to get all these cool country acts. And so if you look on this wall, he had Willie Nelson play here. He had Waylon Jennings play here, and Charlie Pride. He's one of the first black artists to play. And you know, Loretta Lynn, Merle Haggard, Hank Williams Jr. So I can look at this wall and go back in time. Like here's Buck Owens. Buck Owens played here. George Jones played here. There's Ernest Tubbs. I mean, it's just amazing. So for 20 years, Ralph Russell had all these great country music acts play at the Diamond Ballroom. And what I find fascinating is, you always hear about Kane's Ballroom being a historical place in Tulsa. Well, Diamond Ballroom should be a historical place for Oklahoma City. And so after 20 years of all these great country acts playing here, Ralph Russell decided to turn over to his son, Ralph Russell Jr., and then they started doing rock and roll acts. So one night was rock and roll, and then the next night was country. And so then it went through a phase of hard rock. In '87, they started having these bands like Power Lord and Gamma Side. But then they had bands like Pantera. Pantera is a legend in rock and roll business, okay? And then later on, you had bands like Hellstorm played here. The Cramps played here. I mean, you got Five Finger Death Punch, Volbeat. All these rock and roll groups played here. You know, I just felt like, you know, I had to share this information to the public. And so when I walk near these photographs and look at them, each photograph I can just feel like I'm going back in time. And what's so cool about it is Ralph Russell was a hoarder, okay, in a good way, because he kept records of all these artists. Each file has like the original contract, what they got paid, all the special correspondence between the agent that booked the band or the group. He had the actual original press photographs are in there, and the bio sheets and what was current at that time. So when I pull out a photo, say Willie Nelson, for example, and I open it up, I'm seeing how much he got paid. He might have got paid $700 that night, and he might have played 3 or 4 sets. And it shows the actual photographs of Willie Nelson, how he looked back in 1965, for example. And you see the correspondence going back and forth, you know, between the person that's booking the artist and the artist management company.
Ralph Russell Sr. is the one that actually built the Diamond. He was a prominent attorney here in town, and music was his passion, was his sideline deal, and this is how he exercised his passion. And he built the big Diamond here in 1964, built the little Diamond in '65, and he had it up until the mid-'80s. He turned it over to his son, Ralph Jr. Ralph Sr. still came up here all the time. They were very involved in politics around town. They were, whenever a question liquor by the drink and some of the different liquor laws that have happened over the years, Ralph Sr. was really active in all that kind of thing. He told me about, I believe it was Fats Domino was supposed to come in from Dallas and got snowed in, and Ralph Sr. actually drove down there and picked him up and drove him back. He wanted to have that show. Ralph Sr., when he set this up, he wanted it to resemble the way things were back in the 50s. He wanted this to look like the back of someone's house. And underneath these pictures, I don't know if you can see, but there's windows underneath here. And the stage used to come out and had a kind of a wrought iron front on it, and it was supposed to look like someone's back porch. And so you were supposed, and see they've got the roof up here with the shingles and all. It was supposed to feel like the back of someone's house, like you were going over and playing or watching someone play in their backyard type thing, which people used to do back then. And so that was the original theme for the whole thing. But Ralph was also pretty progressive. You know, by the 5th anniversary, he remodeled the place. Loretta Lynn played the 5th anniversary, and he added onto the stage and changed it at that point in time for the first time. And then as the years went on, he would change things. He would, you know, he's pretty much cutting edge. I mean, he would, you know, it doesn't seem like it now. That doesn't seem cutting edge back at someone's house, but really at that time that was a big deal. Or to have a dance floor this big, that was a big deal. This was, you know, the early advertisements would say air-conditioned building, which I guess that was a big deal at the time too, you know, in 64, 65.
And so I decided I wanted to, you know, maybe put out like a pictorial type book. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to take these photographs off the wall and in the press kits they got, and I wanted to put together a book to where if you was to look through this book, you would actually feel like you could relive the history of the Diamond Ballroom. And it started November 21st, 1964. And I want to show photographs of the house band playing. I want to get the photographs of Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard, the promo pictures, and maybe have some stories inside the book that talks about, you know, some of their experiences here at the Diamond Ballroom. And also I want to talk about how the Diamond Ballroom went from country swing in the first 20 years, from 64 to 84. Then they went to a phase of hard rock, heavy metal. Then they came back again to now it's a diversity of everything. You can have Christian rock bands play here. You can have comedians play here, country artists, rock and roll, you know, punk rock, you name it, they're going to play at the Diamond Ballroom. And so I wanted to put together this book to share my personal enjoyment to the public.